Welcome to the Simple Invest 360 launch webinar. My name is Matt Crofts. I head up product at BGL Corporate Solutions. Been with BGL for a number of years now, working with the SMSF team, and Andrew Pascoe is joining me. He's the product manager for Simple Invest 360. Say hello, Andrew.
Hi, Matt. Hi, everyone. Thanks for being with us today.
So our job today is really to give you an overview of our new product. It was into production last Tuesday. All Simple Fund 360 clients have access, and we'll show you how easy it is to get access. And then Andrew is going to show you a live demo so you can actually see the software in operation. So let's make a start. All right, so a bit of housekeeping. This webinar is being recorded, so you can watch this later. All attendees today will receive a recording with in an email link. Please feel free to ask your questions as Andrew and me go through the software, talk about the software. We've got two other experienced team members. We've got Andrew Pereira and Mario from the Simple Invest team, and I've also got Joanne from the Simple Fund team. It really was a joint effort, so they're all listening in. Feel free to type your questions into the question and answer, and they will do their best to answer those, all experienced BGLers. So Simple Invest, why did we decide to build this? It's really been a 2-year journey by the team, both the Simple Fund and Simple Invest team. It really comes down to, we got a bit sick of getting asked, why don't you build Simple Invest? Really, a lot of our 360 clients with its Simple Fund 360 has been in production now for over 6 and a bit years. And they were doing SMSF, sometimes going back to do some investment work in some trust or company structures. And they just found a real disconnect. They wanted that same level of automation that they were used to in the SMSF space. And I guess the other main reason we've seen in the industry, and certainly I've been in the industry for 25 years, is a growing wealth accumulation outside the SMSF space. We saw that sort of introduction of the 1.6, and we've seen constant limitations on the amount of money you can put into contributions. Andrew's a little bit younger than me, probably can't remember when you could just really put any sort of amounts of contributions in, and they had the big $1 million dip that you could put $1 million into SMSF, but it's really quite hard in that space. So we're seeing a growing number of investments, growing in trusts and company structures. So that's really why we decided to build Simple Invest. This was probably the other problem we saw, and Andrew got a lot of this feedback during the beta phase, is really completing a trust set of accounts with investments and CGT, complexity, whether it's property or shares or whether it's crypto. There was a lot of disparate software. Andrew, when you've been speaking to beta clients, they're really using a combination of different software solutions, aren't they? Yeah,
that's right. They need to be using their GL, they're doing a bit of Excel, using Word for their minutes and their compliance. So yeah, a bit of a mix and match of different software.
That's right. And look, some of those on the call might be huge Excel advocates. It really is the biggest fintech ever created, but it's also a bit of a nightmare when you're trying to do, automation around corporate actions. So we see a lot of people using a number of different software to complete off their investment trusts or their companies with investments, or even an individual tax portfolio position with a fair bit of property or CGT assets in it. Then doing Workpapers, not so much for their individuals, but doing Workpapers for the trust and companies in another solution, doing their minutes in another solution. You've got to do trustee minutes, trustee decks, You've got to be doing those minutes before 30th of June. We commonly see, a lot of clients doing those in Word, and then, using other sort of portfolio software to track, or the clients using other disparate sort of portfolio software, or the advisors using different software. So we see really that as the problem that we wanted to solve, and that's really the main feedback we've got from clients. So what's the solution? The solution is we really grabbed our expertise in CGT, and we've got a lot of expertise in CGT, corporate action, investment performance reporting, and brought that together into Simple Invest. We basically have now got a complete solution for not just your SMSFs and your companies, but now trusts, companies, individuals can all be viewed in a cloud solution. So Simple Invest 360 is full cloud. It's really leveraging off the modern technology, the architecture that drives Simple Fund 360. Simple Fund 360, for those that are not BGL clients, is the #1 solution out there, used by over 200,000 SMSFs and growing every day. And CAS is our corporate affairs solution that does all your corporate compliance for companies and for trusts. So it does all the minutes and documentation. So we've really tied all those together with some clever integration, which we'll show you. And now you can view them all in one solution. This was really the feedback. We've got some beta clients. Andrew's been dealing with these on a weekly basis, checking in with them. But this is really the feedback we had pre-launch. It really makes it easy to track dividends, to do reconstructions, and really using the same leading technology with machine learning and corporate actions. You're really getting that efficiency you can't get in Excel spreadsheet or in your standard general ledger solutions, or potentially your portfolio solutions. So that's really the feedback we've had. Real clients there that are happy to share their experiences. We're building out case studies as we speak. The other big strength it works on is the integration with our ecosystem. Over the last 6 to 7 years, we've been building up a massive ecosystem of data suppliers, integration partners, digital signing solutions. It's just incredible how big, the ecosystem is. With our launch here, we're really leveraging off the Simple Fund ecosystem, which is about 350 different integrations. With Simple Invest, it's about 300 integrations. We take out some of the actuary and some of the SMSF ones, but you've still got a huge, massive volume of different portfolio providers, wrap providers, brokers. We're the largest support for brokers. We support over 150 brokers. Works with your strengths. So those Simple Fund clients, we've got over 6,000 Simple Fund clients using the software. When we show you the software, you'll easily feel familiar with it. It's really an opportunity to create consistent financials now, which you haven't been able to do in the past. So you can have the same look and feel as your SMSF, as well as your investment trusts and your company structures. You can do it all in one solution and have them customized. Also, Workpapers, we'll show you a little bit about that. And it works with your advisor well. It's got the ability to export data in and out of the software. So we can pull in from wraps, we can pull in from the major investment solutions out there. IRES, we've got a feed in and out. So you can basically have those same sort of integrations that you've had in the SMSF space from day one. Also, what we've done over the last 2 years is beef up the investment reporting for the advisor. That was something we lacked a little bit in our early solutions with our SMSF. So we've been beefing this up, really listening to advisors and accountants to really add more detailed time-weighted calculations for performance and more the DIES method, which really sort of gives you a more streamlined view of your investment reporting. The great thing is all that investment reporting from day one, from our launch last week, is available to your clients. They see exactly what you see with the same data in real time. We just recently added real-time broker contract feeds in our share pack. So that basically now if your client is trading fairly frequently, we're seeing the mobile and the cloud solution. What you're seeing and what your client's seeing is updating in minutes now, rather than what was previously overnight. So the technology just keeps getting better, and that technology is driving both the SMSF solution and the Invest solution. The other big feature is the ability to reconcile to Registry. Okay, others may talk about reconciling to Registry, we actually do it. Okay, so we've got the three major registries integrated from day one. We cover over 98% of the ASIC Australian market. So that really helps you drive, you know, this automation, being able to reconcile your investment positions on ASX, and also being able to reconstruct. I'm sure, Andrew, you would have had a number of clients having to reconstruct during the beta and put in data.
Yeah, a huge amount of history they needed to put in, and stuff going back to the 60s, the 70s, pre-CGT sort of holdings. So yeah, it's quite interesting to see the amount of data they needed to get in there and reconstruct.
Yeah, well, I know you helped out, and Mario on the chat also helped out actually getting their hands dirty to get in some of the CGT history. Registry really provides that, and we've got a lot of other solutions which Andrew will show you, from CSV uploading, and I'll show you right at the end some really clever sort of CGT report using machine learning. So it really, we know that's the problem, or, you know, the old joke in, you know, tax and CGT reporting is it's not a problem till you sell or someone passes away. Well, now you can have much more accurate records and not have to wait for those tragic events to be trying to reconstruct investment portfolios. We've really got some great tools to do that. And as I said, the only real provider that's integrating into Registry. Accounting Workpapers. Now you can have one solution. Your SMSF Workpapers, your trust, your company, individuals. Generally, people don't do too much detailed Workpapers, but it is an option. You can have all that in. So your lead schedules, you can do reviews. You can do it fully digital so that you can upload documents, share those documents. We're doing some great technology in filing documents into the right spot automatically. We can read bank balances on investments now. So we can read the 30th of June bank balance and put that into the Workpapers automatically. There's some really clever stuff that we can automate. So that Workpapers, no extra charge, it's included. That's what we're talking about, the disparate software solution. We're bringing Workpapers, general ledger, investment reporting, tax reporting, financial reporting, all in one solution. Tax recs are quite powerful. This is certainly what we've been beefed up over the last 6 months, is being able to do tax recs for trusts, companies, individuals. So detailed tax rec positions, including CGT. Andrew, hang around to the end. Andrew's going to show you also a new feature that's just going to be announced in the next few days, to do with companies and how to reconcile some certain features of the companies as well. But we do some very detailed streaming scenarios as well. So hang around for that. Integration from day one. We're integrating with CAS. So we're sharing contacts. We're making it easy to download companies from ASIC in our CAS solution. You download it in a couple of minutes. You can use that company information, the directors, the shareholders, and bring that across into Simple Invest, make that setup that much quicker and more accurate. We've also got obvious integration with Simple Fund. I've talked a lot about that already, from Workpapers to reporting to all the tax and Registry. But also from day one, we've got contact integration with Xero. We've got the ability to import general ledger data from Xero, so you can still do, you know, your bank recs sort of in Xero and bring in that general ledger data into Simple Invest and finish off the CGT and tax position. And we're also looking to do a bit more tax integration, but right now it's contacts integration and general ledger integration with Xero. Plus, we've also got single sign-on integration, so that if you're logging in to Xero Blue or Xero Green, you can also use those same login credentials into Simple Invest or any of our packages. So, as I talked about earlier, it's all about consistent financials. You can now have the same financials, you can have them digitally signed. From day one, Andrew, we've got Adobe Sign and DocuSign with a lot of the minutes, declarations, company
compilation report.
Company compilation report, thank you. So you can have those digitally signed. So now you can send out a pack using the same solution, your SMSF, your companies and your trusts, all digitally, all from day one. Okay, there is an additional charge for Adobe and DocuSign, but we are onboarding other digital signing. Come to our new features webinars and we'll keep you up to date with those. But certainly now it's Adobe Sign and a DocuSign integrated into Simple Invest and Simple Fund. So that's really it from me. I'm going to hand you over to Andrew. Feel free to keep those questions coming. We can see a few questions coming and Andrew's going to show you the real software.
All right, just 1 second. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen now, Matt.
Yep, can see it.
Okay, so for our Simple Fund 360 clients, when you logged in after Tuesday last week, you would have seen a splash screen. Some of you may not have logged in yet, so you will get that the next time you log in. Just notifying you that you do have access to Simple Invest 360. You don't need to do anything. We've already enabled it for you. Ron's been very generous in giving you 5 entities to try it out until the end of August. So make sure that you take advantage of that. On the entity workflow screen, you may have noticed that we have an entity type filter now. So I can easily filter out by my trusts, companies, or individuals. And if you want to add an entity to Simple Invest 360, it's just the same as Simple Fund 360, where we click Add New Entity. Takes us through to our entity setup screen, where previously this would have been just SMSF. Now you have a trust, company, and individual. Now, if I select trust or company, you'll notice that this little button, Import from CAS 360, pops up. So if you have CAS 360 on your license as well, now it doesn't have to be integrated, so you don't have to have turned on that contact integration that Matt talked about, but we can pull through that data for you. So here I can just click on the button, type in the name of a trust that I want to pull through from CAS 360. And this one is a unit trust here. It's pulling through as much data as possible, so date form there as well. And it would also pull through details that you don't necessarily see on the screen, such as all the address details as well. Select the financial year that I'm going to be starting on and click on Create Trust. And that's it. So it's gone through and created that trust for us. I'll click through to the trust details and scroll down. So you see it's pulled through some address data there. And we also have this automatic reval button here, this toggle that's a little bit different to Simple Fund 360. So as you will all be aware, in SMSF land, you need to be revaluing those investments on an annual basis, part of the regulations there. But with trusts, companies, individuals, you can choose if you want to have those automatic revaluations turned on or off. We're seeing probably 50% split between clients, whether they turn this on or off. That's completely up to you. If you do turn it off after you've put in some data and gone through a few days of processing, you will need to delete the revalue system journals there as well. So just be aware of that. Okay. Now, if I wanted to add beneficiaries to this trust, I just jump over to our beneficiary screen. You may notice that the left-hand toolbar is a little bit different to how it would be for an SMSF. So we have the trust dashboard here, or trust area, and the beneficiary screen. Now, when I click Add Beneficiary, we then present you a list of all your contacts as well as all your entities that you have in the software. So you can add not just the contact types, but also the other entity types, so trust, company, or individual, even SMSF here. And if I added this person, this one is the unit trust, so it's got unit holders or beneficiary type, and I can go through and add units as well. I could use a unit class, so class A, for example, put in the number of units, the transaction date, and the amount paid and unpaid, and I can save that. And that'll go through and add the beneficiary there. That unit class there, that will also assist you with part of the profit distribution that we'll do later on. Here I've got a trust that I've already set up. So the Gold Family Trust, this one here is a discretionary trust. Notice that I've got another billable trust here. I've got an individual, so we call them billable individual here, as well as a contact individual as the beneficiaries that have been set up. Showing the age here, I'm sure this isn't you, Matt. This is someone 71. You haven't quite reached that age there. Showing last year distribution and current year distribution as well.
That's very generous of you. Thank you, Andrew.
Okay, so now that we've got our beneficiaries set up there, I can jump over to feed management, where I've already got a bank account set up. I want to set up the data feed for it. So I'm trying to get through how we can get data into Simple Invest 360. And it's very much the same as Simple Fund 360, because all of those data feeds that we've already set up in Simple Fund 360 for you to use through our ecosystem, they're all already available. So almost 300 data feeds that we've already got for you there. For this bank feed, I just click on the bank feed itself here, and I can click Create Authority Form, and it will download the authority form that I'll provide to the client for signing. I can also set up the contract notes through here, so it's already supporting all of those brokers, and of course that registry data that Matt spoke about as well. If I don't want to set up the contract note service, or I want to get in some historical data, I could use the broker CSV import file that works very well. The client can give you an Excel or CSV that they've downloaded from their broker, or you can create one yourself and import that in. Another good way to get data in is through our Smart Matching screen. So through our Smart Matching screen, you'll notice here we've got a data entry button, and we have a bit of an Excel layout here. So let me grab some data from my spreadsheet that I've already got set up, and then I can copy and paste that into here, and you'll notice it's doing some validations to make sure that the data will import correctly. I've got debit, credit, and the description, and then I can import that in, and we'll start using the Smart Matching to automatically match all of that data. For my trust here, I've already imported in all my data. I've matched it all off. So you'll notice from the transaction list that you will all be familiar with that I've got all my data matched off, got some interest there, some distributions received, a few purchases, a few sales, and a setup fee here as well, and a loan to start, and also a settled sum. This is quite a standard setup, I'd say, for a trust. If I jump over to those investment dashboards that Matt spoke about earlier, you'll notice here in the dates dashboard, I can see an investment performance. Now, being a fully cloud-based application, you can invite in as many people as you want. So you could invite in the beneficiaries or the trustees of the trust if they want to track their portfolio, give them access just to a few screens. So probably this screen here, probably wouldn't give them access to the accounting screen unless you want them to do their own bookkeeping. And then they can get this updated portfolio view, and they can get the same view here on the app as Matt mentioned as well. So I've got all my data in, I've got it all matched off. We're tracking the performance of the investment portfolio. Now we're getting towards year end, and I need to run my year end process. This is where we differ a bit from Simple Fund 360. In that Simple Fund 360, you'll be aware you need to be running create entries to do your year end process. We don't have create entries in Simple Invest 360. We just have this start year end workflow that we built for you. So we start the year-end workflow. We then have this statement of taxable income screen, which we're quite proud of. Now this statement of taxable income screen is available for trust companies and individuals. So first off, we're showing you here the accounting profit. So this is the income less the expenses. Well, then you'll see all the taxable values that the system is calculating to then arrive at the net taxable income. So from speaking to clients, we know that to get to this point, many of them were doing this reconciliation in Excel between the accounting and the tax profit. You can then add any other items that are not already captured within the system itself, and also the tax adjustments for items where there's no cash amount recorded. So you can just add those items in here, and they'll become part of the statement of taxable income. Now I've got my revals turned on, so you'll notice here I've got increases in market value of investments, could be decreases It might be in Matt's portfolio. I think there's a few decreases in market value of investments there. No.
Cheap shot, but no.
Okay.
All positive. But look, also just on that point, all these tax recs go into your work papers as well. So that's really the beauty of having this built in. And yeah, I think it's a tribute to the guys. It's actually even a little bit easier than Simple Fund 360 in doing tax recs, in seeing it more visual in this fashion.
Yep. And so because we've got that revals turned on, we've got the increased market values there. We're also automatically reserving it for you as well to the 58450 as an investment revaluation reserve. Then we arrive at the income available for distribution. We now save and post that. We didn't want to make any other adjustments there. And then the next step here is for the distribution of profit, which is step 2. So here we have the earnings available for distribution, taxable profit available for distribution. My beneficiary is listed. The residency status is listed as well, so we don't need to go and change anything about the addresses to be listing them, the residency status. We already have that information there when you set up the beneficiary. We can distribute the amount by percentages or by dollar amounts. So I might give Matt everything in this case, 100%. And then I can autofill the tax components from that distribution there. And you can see it's autofilling all the tax components for Matt. Now, perhaps in this trust here, I wanted to use the income streaming instead. So I just toggle on income streaming. We're showing you the beneficiary information once again. We're showing you last year's distribution if you wanted to base it off that perhaps. And we're also showing you taxable income. So Joanne is an billable individual set up within Simple Invest 360. She's got her own investment portfolio and all the other adjustments set up as an individual. And then her taxable income that is calculated is automatically pulled through to the screen. So it's showing you there that she's quite a high income earner there. We're probably not going to distribute anything to her in this case. So for our streaming here, I'm just going to break it up as 60% to the ABC Trust, 40% to Matt in this case. I decided he doesn't deserve the 100%. And then I can click on autofill once again to autofill the tax components. So you can see we're doing a huge amount of automation for you here, really saving you a huge headache that you would have probably done in Excel otherwise. And then we're just clicking post and continue, and that is creating all the necessary journal entries there. And step 3 here is the view tax reports, where we're giving you the tax reports on the screen so you can view the statement of taxable income as a report if you wish. Or we can view also the taxable reconciliation report there as well, where we're giving you all the tax labels. So it's allowing you to easily punch that into your tax software. So Matt, I know the big question clients are going to be punching into Q&A at the moment is, are we doing a tax return for non-SMSF?
Look, it's a good question. We're certainly watching the feedback on tax return preparation and lodgement. We're certainly at this stage looking to integrate with Xero. As you say, we get to a full sort of tax position. We have done lodgements for SMSF. We have SBR approval, we have ATO approval, we have ISO approval. Lots of acronyms there, but it effectively means that BGL is certainly evaluating that. So give us your feedback about doing the tax lodgements for trusts and companies. We do know some people like to have all their lodgements in one solution, so that's why we're working with Xero at this stage to get that driven through the APIs, a way to push data through to them. So give us your feedback, we'd certainly appreciate it. And Andrew, just probably just mention, you know, the distribution minutes are also generated, so all your documentation around that distribution is also automated, added to your work papers and signable. Yeah, so from this point here, clients will probably be jumping through the work papers screen and also the reports screen. With Workpapers, as Matt said before, it is already fully integrated, so we have Workpapers available for trust companies and individuals. It's just a matter of generating the Workpapers and then going through and reviewing and attaching any documents you wish to add. You can even add notes there as well.
And then in the report screen, I've already set up a report pack here. I've got my badge as well. If any of you are not aware, we are giving you a lot of flexibility as well around adding your own logo, your own firms and branding to the reports as well. And then, as Matt mentioned, we do have a trustees deck, trustees resolution or minute available. Trustees deck here, we can put in the date. I'm sure that nobody is backdating any of these documents, but I'll be needing to do it for today. And I'll be putting in the date here. And then for the trustee minute resolution, I can choose whether I show the distribution as an amount or as a percentage, final, interim, special, or other, saving that.
No need to backdate. We're before 30th of June, so if clients purchase right now, they can do it in time.
That'll be very compliant.
Correct.
And then, as Matt said, we can use these reports to send out via digital signing. So we have DocuSign and Adobe, and we will be integrating with others soon. Or we can just preview the document or download it and email it through to the client or provide it to them in a pack that you might be giving to some clients who still like to receive paper.
Just while that's generating, we just had a question, Andrew, just on the BAS. We do lodge the BAS and we do full GST reporting. We probably just don't have enough time to show you that today. There's so many features.
Yeah, that's right. So you can see here I've generated my report pack. I've got the notes of the financials in there, statement of taxable income, investment summary report, realised cap gains. We've got all those reports that you're used to in Simple Fund 360. The tax rec, trustees declaration with Matt here ready to sign it, and also the resolution we mentioned before where I'm showing dollar amounts, or I could choose to show that as a percentage already for signing.
So what we do here is we do all the markup, so it automatically knows where they need to sign. You don't need to load a PDF and then load it into Adobe. We just streamline that process and track the statuses in our document screen.
That's right. I'll hand back to you, Matt, to go through the rest of the presentation.
Okay, thanks, Andrew. It's really takes a huge team effort. I should just thank Andrew and his team for really putting what you see here today and the integration from the Simple Fund 360 team as well. As you can see, this is a lot different to our solution when we first launched Simple Fund 6.5 years ago. It's got a lot more comprehensive features, much more reports from day one. So you'll see it's a very comprehensive solution. And those that are already on BGL will know that we're continuing to add features every 2 to 3 weeks. We added 3 releases in the month of June alone. So we're trying to schedule those together, and obviously what we add in the SMSF space, if it relates, to investments and CGT, will benefit clients in our trust and vice versa. Andrew, I guess the next slide I've got here, let me just bring that up, was really your surprise. Let me just share that, drum roll.
Yeah, so this is something that we're working on at the moment. We'll be going out with tomorrow night's release, all going well. And this is because we're really listening to clients' feedback, where they want us to be. We're developing the product, what's missing, what they're still doing outside of a software really, or in Excel, and keeping their own records there. And that is a franking account worksheet. So they'll be able to use the data that they're putting into the company in Simple Invest 360 to pre-populate a lot of this. They'll be able to import in, similar to how smart matching works, the historical data they might already have in a spreadsheet, and we'll continue to develop this to be able to keep track of all the franking account credits as well. Yeah,
so not just trust, we're improving reporting, and franking accounts can get quite complex, especially with the changing of tax rates and trying to keep track of the ins and outs if you've got complex company structures. So that's everything we've shown you so far is in the software. This one's coming in a couple of days. Don't want to be accused of false advertising. We try to show you everything that's in the software. This is really something I find quite magical. I've worked in technology and accounting now for 22 years, but I wouldn't have thought this would really be possible, but this is, we know this is one of the problems on starting a new software solution, is getting your data out of another solution. So we wanted to make this easy from day one. So our R&D team, what we call our big data team, have basically enabled 3 types of different unrealized reports at this stage, Andrew. 3?
Yeah, that's right.
Simple ledger, competitor number 1 and competitor number 2. But what I'll show you here is just a quick snippet of basically bringing an unrealized position. So if you've got some history sitting in another solution, this one's quite detailed. 4 pages of CGT unrealized events. We don't care what's been sold. We're reading this PDF, so we can take a photo of it. We can upload the PDF itself. And then we've built this wizard. What I call magic is it reads that PDF. It reads that image, that PDF, and converts it into usable data. So this is our import wizard. I saw a few questions, just scanning through the questions. How do I get my data in? This video has been sped up a little bit, but you're talking about 4 or 5 minutes to bring in 4 pages of CGT records. So I really call that quite magical. You know, being able to use technology to really save you a huge amount of time. If you're a Simple Ledger client, Simple Ledger is our old desktop solution. We pretty much have all the functionality from day one that Simple Ledger has, plus more. You can't do streaming in Simple Ledger. You can't do digital signing in our Simple Ledger. So we can, or you can self-service bringing that data across. Certainly if you've got other solutions where you can get an unrealized CGT report, send it through to us and we'll try to basically automate that history. We have got obviously imports from, you can upload contract notes as we mentioned, you can put in CSV, share history through our CSV loader, through Excel. So there's many options to bring it in, and plus you can do journal entries. Isn't that amazing, Andrew?
Love a journal entry.
Everyone loves a good journal entry. All right, so we'll keep it moving. Just really value for money. This is what everyone's probably been thinking of. How much for this solution? It's basically $100 for everything we've shown you today, from Workpapers, from all the revaluations, from the minutes, all the tax reporting, all that is included, ASIC feeds, unlisted feeds that you're used to in Simple Fund, international feeds, all that stuff is included. So you can do full double entry account and get it through to TaxRec. The add-ons are exactly the same as Simple Fund. So if you're a Simple Fund client, this won't be news to you. You've got the bank add-on pack at $40 and you've got the share data pack at $40 as well. So they really drive the automation. I recommend getting those 2 packs. Banks is, if you basically is purchased in per entity. So if you have one company, you add a bank pack and you can add 10, 20 bank feeds through that bank service. If you've got 12 brokers, you know, let's say it's a very complex family trust and they all use different brokers, you buy the share pack and you can link 12, 20 brokers into that share pack and obviously have multiple HINs. To set up Registry, it's just putting in your HIN or your SRN, so you can have multiple HINs and SRNs there as well. So they're the costs. You know, if you compare that to what is out there in the market, I think it comes huge value for money. But make your own judgment. It's basically very similar to Simple Fund pricing, just a little bit cheaper. We do have an investor edition. Andrew, do you want to just mention that?
Yeah, so we do have an investor edition, which is for one entity. You do get the bank feed and share data pack included for that entity. It's $440 for the first year and then $220 each year after that. For clients that already have Simple Fund 360 trustee, it's $220 from the first year. So it's not including that setup fee.
Yep, and we should say it's in initial purchases of 5 if you're a professional accountant, but you can upgrade in lots of one. Okay, so you can go 5, 6, 7, 8.
That's right.
All right, so that's the pricing. What do you have to do next? Well, if you're a Simple Fund 360 client, as Andrew already mentioned, you've got it. Ron, our CEO, I think most people know Ron in the industry. If you don't, Ron's our CEO, been running the business for 30 years. BGL is not a new tech company. We've basically just been consistently investing. And Ron made the decision together with us to basically give all our loyal Simple Fund clients, so 6,000 clients, have free access to this product right now. It's about 6,400, I think, Andrew. So all they have to do is click up until 31st of August. We want to give you a good, just have a try of it. All you need to do if you're using Simple Fund is click Add New Entity. The button there is sitting in your first home screen when you log in. You'll see Add New Entity, and magic, you only used to be able to add SMSF. Now you'll have those additional options. I did see one question in there about partnerships. We don't see them that common, but you can set them up as a trust depending on how you distribute the income. Or if it's a very simple partnership, you can just set them up as 2 individuals if you want to sort of keep it separated. But we had very little interest in partnerships. We know a few out there. We've got an FAQ on just setting it up as a trust. So that's available now. If you're not a Simple Fund 360 client, if you're a CAS client, or you might be a desktop client, or you're new to BGL, you're not aware of us, then just reach out. The website there, just type Simple Invest 360, register your details, and we can set you up. We've got a number of paying clients already, which is a great sign in our first week. So you can go on and purchase if you like what you see today and you don't want to trial it, you've already been betaing it. We had about 140 active, about 200 clients in the beta process. So we know it's very proven. But yeah, you can jump on to our BGL site and purchase if you wish, or you can reach out to our account managers or jump on our website for a bit more information. Very good. Well, look, we'll leave it there. Really, as we said, just to summarize, it's available now. It's in production. You can purchase it. If you're a Simple Fund 360 client, you can just trial it. You just have to click Add New Entity. It's very simple. You don't need to do anything else. When that trial ends, you'll still be able to export reports, okay? You'll still be able to get into the report screen, but you won't. We're not going to give you free access forever and ever. But when that trial period ends, you can just either decide to purchase or effectively, look, you can remove the entry or delete the whole entity or just export the reports. So there's really not too many catches about it. Just have a play. If you're not, jump on our website, register your details, and we'll have one of our sales guys reach out to you or contact myself or Andrew if you've got any more specific questions. So thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate it. We've had a great turnout. Thanks, Andrew. Thanks for joining us. And we'll show you more in coming months.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks for attending, everyone.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.